Namaskar. Hello and welcome to 𝗖𝗏𝗄𝑔𝑢𝑟u's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Today, Sriram Seshadri is joining me. We couldn't do his program on Friday, so we are doing catch up, and we're going to be talking about two important topics: the implications of the 370 judgment. They go far beyond that local subject of Article 370. There's much more than that, and also the social engineering that BJP has done by selecting chief ministers and deputy chief ministers. What is the story there? We're going to analyze a little bit of that also. So let's welcome Sriram Seshadri ji. Sriram sir, namaskar and welcome to 𝗖𝗏𝗄𝑔𝑢𝑟u's channel.
Sir, namaskaram and namaskaram to all the 𝗖𝗏𝗄𝑔𝑢𝑟u's viewers.
Thank you, sir. And viewers, please like this video. And also, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. Sriram ji, this 370 judgment, the Supreme Court in a unanimous vote said that this was a temporary provision and it's fine to have been removed. Not only did they say that, they also said that by September 30th, you should hold elections. What they did not say was that you should think about giving them statehood before holding the election. How do I see this thing? I'm a little confused. So are they going to have elections for a union territory, sir? What does that mean?
Yes, sir. So let's see what, the Jammu and Kashmir reorganization bill introduced on 5th August 2019, which effectively abrogated the Article 370, which has been there, a discriminatory special provision for Kashmir, which has been there. To answer your question first, and then I'll go to the details. When the reorganization bill was introduced, Jammu and Kashmir was divided into 3 union territories. Number 1, Ladakh, which is a pure union territory directly controlled by the central government. Jammu, another union territory. Kashmir, another union territory. But these two are union territories with an assembly. Like the Delhi, like Pondicherry, one would have union territory with elected members. So, and also the reorganization bill introduced in 2019 mentioned that these states or these union territories, especially Kashmir, would be accorded with a statehood as soon as possible when the conditions are conducive. Tushar Mehta, the Solicitor General, argued that in the Supreme Court, when 16 days Supreme Court constitutional bench, 5-member constitutional bench, headed by the Chief Justice Justice Chandrachud, heard this case. This petition has been pending for last 4 years in front of the Supreme Court, and eventually, because Justice Kaul is retiring by 25th of December 2023, the bench wanted to conclude all the arguments and then provide its verdict before Justice Kaul retires. Otherwise, a new bench had to be constituted and all formalities had to be done. 11th December 2023, or the 11th December, holds a very historic significance. That is the day when the current Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Murali Manohar Joshi, a senior leader in 1990, started Ekta Yatra from Kanyakumari to go to Kashmir and hoist the tricolor flag in Kashmir Valley, because the terrorist has demanded, if anybody has guts, hoist that tricolor flag, and then we will end their life. And both Murali Manohar Joshi and Narendra Modi, that point in time, he was a party man, not even a politician, or rather not even a electorally one politician. He never contested election. Both of them started an Ekta Yatra and went. So the date on which the judgment was given also has a significance, maybe a coincidence, but has a significance. Yes, by September 30th, 2024, court has directed the Election Commission to conduct the election in Jammu and Kashmir, but this will be a union territory assembly, and statehood should be awarded as soon as possible when the conditions are conclusive. So the judgment, why this is so historic? Because it clarifies far more than Article 370. Especially, in the last 5 to 10 years, there is a separatist mindset that is being fueled within India by opposition, vested interest from abroad, Congress subscribing to that, DMK subscribing to that. And this judgment talks about very clearly on some of the significant aspects. The 370 abrogation case judgment addresses few issues. There were 3 judgments written, one by Justice Chandrachud, and another by Justice Kaul, and the third one by, I think, Justice 𝗼𝙑. But Justice 𝗼𝙑 is more of a concurring to both the judgments. So but unanimously all 5 of them concurred that abrogation of Article 370 is upheld constitutionally. So no more room for review petitions, no more room for appeal and etc. Because of 5, normally when there is a dissent judgment, it paves way in the future for a review petition by any one of the parties, and then the case is argued again. But now no more review petitions, because it is an unanimous judgment from all of them. Then why did Justice 𝗼𝙑 or Justice Kaul give a different judgment? Justice Kaul is a Kashmiri, so he wanted to have a reconciliatory step in Kashmir. The state and non-state actors' human rights violation to be inquired, and then a reconciliatory step. But this reconciliatory step, he didn't say that it has to be a criminal proceeding, but it has to be of how do we resolve this, and then remove the scar from the public mind, and even before we start forgetting what has happened from 1980s. That is when the pundits were driven out. Even today, the Kashmiri pundits live like an exile and asylum seekers within their own country. And that is why Justice Kaul's judgment is very, very important. Of course, he talks about state actors of human rights violation also, where there are some police and military violations that have happened. And that also he talks about. That is a point that the opposition is taking it as a significant judgment. And then, they are talking about as if only the Modi government, after came into power, the army was stationed in Kashmir, and then they created atrocities. Army had to take certain actions, so we cannot just rule them as atrocities. They have special provisions, to take certain actions and then take people into custody for questioning. But law and order always remained with the Jammu and Kashmir police. So what did the other 3 justices, as well as all the 5, considered? There are important questions they considered. Number 1, first and foremost question was Article 370 a permanent or temporary provision? A very clear judgment given, in spite of Mehbooba Muftis and Omar Abdullahs of the world arguing that it is a permanent provision, because the moment the Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir was dissolved, without their consent, no other change could be done, and hence it became a permanent position. But unanimously, Supreme Court Constitution Bench ruled that Article 370 had always been a temporary provision to accede Kashmir into India. And, the moment, the accession happened, Kashmir lost its independent sovereignty, because that is the second important question they answered, which means, did Jammu and Kashmir have its own sovereign state within the sovereign state of India? Because why this question is very, very important is, our first article of Constitution says, India, that is Bharat, shall be union of states. What does Congress, especially the DMK, and because of association with DMK and Congress and its allies, start saying? The central government parliament do not have the power. It is only the decentralized states that have the power, and because that constitutes to make the center, or that constitutes to make the country Bharat and India, which is fundamentally flawed. The Union of States is talking about a federalism. Second concept one could read about why our constitutional writers and forefathers wrote that statement, Union of States. When India was formed and the Constitution of India was framed, India was divided into 580 princely states. All these princely states are united to make into a country called India. And then when that was happening, Pakistan split from India, and Bangladesh joined Pakistan. So we had a East Pakistan, West Pakistan coming under Pakistan, but we had the entire, India united. In fact, Nehru was very, very benevolent in giving up Hyderabad to Pakistan. When Hyderabad Nizam demanded, he was willing to give it to Pakistan. It was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel who had the foresight to prevent this from happening, took a police action. While it's called an army action, he took a police action and acceded, Hyderabad into India. And Pakistan demanded a free corridor between East and West Pakistan, which Nehru probably was Nehru was interested in giving, which would have divided India far more further. And that also was prevented by, Sardar Patel. Why Hyderabad accession to, or remaining as a separate state, or accession to Pakistan would have been very detrimental to the country, because the moment that Hyderabad Nizam, which consisted portions of Andhra, Telangana, today's Telangana, Maharashtra, some portions of Karnataka, was the Nizam state, entire South India would have become a different country altogether. Patel did not want that in future to create as a separatist movement, and that's why he took the action. And Nehru did not have that sort of long-term vision. He was more appeasing Jinnah. All he wanted was he wanted to be the independent India's prime minister. Beyond that, he was not more interested. In fact, sorry, sir.
Sorry, sir, I just wanted to add to what you just said, that whatever paved way in Hyderabad also proved decisive in the border state of Junagadh.
Right.
These guys also wanted to do the same thing. And they were having even more reason. They were saying that, we are bordering Pakistan, so we want to go there, even though it's not really true. They had some small, you go back and look at that kingdom, it wasn't exactly on the border of Pakistan, but they wanted to also go. But there also, the people were firmly for India. And once the king of Junagadh, or Nawab of Junagadh, ran, then he left the whole matter of affairs to who is Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's dad. He was the prime minister.
Right.
And by that time, these guys, okay, the writing is on the wall. They also quietly fled by night into Sindh, and that's how they went and settled in this place called Bhutto. I think they bought up some land there, and that's how they became, Bhutto and whatever. So the point, I think, is that Hyderabad proved decisive. It was in 1948. By the time Kashmir had already acceded in whatever funny way. So I think Patel said, no more of this monkey business. 1, 2, 3. Ek maar do tukda, and then he just finished it off.
Exactly. Yeah, I think, thanks for pointing it out. So the second question that was very, very critical, that did Kashmir have its own sovereignty within the sovereign nation? They said no. The moment Kashmir acceded to India, they no longer had a sovereign status. This is very, very critical. That's why I talked about the Article 370 judgment is not just about abrogation of Article 370, but it also has a wider implications. If anybody in India who wants to separate India, separate any portions of the country and then take it away for whatever reasons, this is prevented by the constitutional bench. So that's very, very critical. And does the third question they responded, does Constitution of India apply in total to Jammu and Kashmir? Previously, it was not, because previously every law that has been passed in the parliament by India has to be independently approved in Jammu and Kashmir Assembly for it to take effect. Example, reservations. And in 1950s, a scheduled caste community called Valmiki was, a lot of people were taken to Kashmir to do the sanitary work, cleaning and sanitary work. They never got any other privilege but to do the sanitary work. One could get educated, and they cannot be educated in Jammu and Kashmir University beyond their bachelor's degree. They don't have the right to study, master's degree. But even if you are a bachelor, you cannot become, even if you are much more educated, one cannot become any other employment other than sanitary work. Imagine the amount of right to life, right to live, which is a fundamental right guaranteed by the Constitution, did not apply in Jammu and Kashmir for sect of people. Jammu and Kashmir people are citizens of India, whereas rest of the citizens of India are not citizens of Jammu and Kashmir. That is the duality of the country within a country existed, because Jammu and Kashmir had its own constitution. So the Valmiki community, the so-called torch bearers of social justice, and everybody, including DMK and Lalu Prasad Yadav and everybody, never bothered about these people. This Valmiki community, they were not enjoying any central government reservations. Also, they were not enjoying, because they never got a PRC, permanent resident card, and they cannot work beyond a sanitary worker job. And any other part of the country cannot go and take certain jobs in Jammu and Kashmir, cannot hold property, own a property in Jammu and Kashmir. Even Jammu and Kashmir citizen, a woman who marries outside Jammu and Kashmir, cannot enjoy any other rights that the Jammu and Kashmir citizen enjoys. So that is the level of draconianism that special status gave to Jammu and Kashmir, and nobody bothered about it. So Supreme Court took a call that everybody is equal. In the Constitution of India applies in totality. So today, one can go on own property in Jammu and Kashmir. One can take a job with all the central reservations schemes. Of course, the state will now enact a state reservation scheme like any other state that they have. But it is entire Constitution of India, and the fundamental rights are guaranteed. Imagine the hypocrisy. The Valmiki community, who have been Indian citizen, did not have a PRC, even after 3 generations, 4 generations living there. But Rohingya Muslim came as an asylum seeker to Jammu and Kashmir from Burma and Bangladesh. They were given a PRC. And one should look at the way they enacted. They get the PRC, but cannot hold land or buy land in Kashmir Valley, but they can buy land in Jammu, because Jammu is a Hindu populated state, region within Jammu and Kashmir. So look at the way Abdullahs of the world and Mufti Muhammad Sayyids of the world, enabled Kashmir to become an Islamic state. The Hindus are to be, probably driven out like the Pandits from the Kashmir Valley. So they enable Rohingya Muslims to own the land in Jammu. So all these had been reversed by the Supreme Court. More importantly, Article 3 of the Constitution gives central government power to reorganize any state, be it boundary or split a state into 2. And that is the fundamental final question they answered. Very important. They answered about 7 questions, but one of the most important questions, I take it up, is Supreme Court bench answered this question saying, did central government or president have the power to split the state into 3 union territories? So they said yes. And that is where they said, Ladakh, being a union territory, will continue to be a union territory. Jammu and Kashmir, 2 union territories with assembly. They said provide the statehood as early as possible, and conduct elections by September 30th. Very historic judgment. And today, we'll fail in our duty if we do not recognize and remember Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee. He was a founder of BJP, laid his life for attaining this, dream. Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee dreamt that Kashmir has to be integral part of India, and Modi and Amit Shah duo fulfilled this particular dream that Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee had. And we'll fail in our duty if we do not recognize him. And thanks for putting it up, for Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee's image. And now India will take another step further, acceding Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. That's their next goal. And Amit Shah announces that, they will do it by 2026. My opinion, they are almost there, because accession of POK agreement, a secret agreement between Pakistan and India had already happened. There are some, information that are already there, because their dream is united India, because at the time of independence, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir was part of India. That's why it is called Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. During the war, Nehru ran to United Nations and then said, okay, we'll do the ceasefire and we'll do a plebiscite. Whatever is the line of control that we have today will be treated as an international line of control. And then, we will resolve this Kashmir issue amicably between Pakistan and India. So very, very, regressive step that Nehru took. And today that is getting corrected. In fact, Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee, to be remembered once again, Amit Shah ji pointed out this in the parliament. West Bengal would have been part of Bangladesh, but not for Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee. He was dreaming an Akhanda Bharat, at least, leave a little bit of Pakistan and Bangladesh. He didn't want to leave, because Kashmir is a knowledge capital for the Bharat country. One, if he goes back thousands of years behind, even today, the Sharda Peeth that is in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, I believe that there is like a Kartarpur corridor, there is going to be a corridor that is going to be worked out for this particular place. Adi Shankara established one of his mutt from Kashmir. All the intellectuals, like the Alexandria University, when you talk about any in Western world, Alexandria University, that is what, Kashmir for our culture. And Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee did not want to lose that important cultural epitome of the country. And that is why he wanted to have a unified country, including Kashmir. And 11th December, we all bow our heads to Supreme Court, which guaranteed that in future, whatever may be the perversion of any government coming into power, cannot reenact a similar Article 370 again. So thanks to them, headed by Dr. Justice Chandrachud, who actually, a lot of people talk about Dr. Justice Chandrachud as, left liberal, he has a leftist thoughts and all, but very crucial judgments. When he sits in the chair, he looks at only law. He looks at the constitution. I think that is where, we all are thankful to the justice for all the judges put together, the constitution bench, which actually created the faith in the Supreme Court again and again. There are multiple cases there. We'll even see about it in a few minutes. But this is very, very important, viewers. I think, we all have our gratitude towards them. Back to you, sir.
Thank you so much. And we have to skip, race along a little bit because we have limited time. Let's take a look at the social engineering, and then we'll go back to the other one, which is essentially what has happened in the 10 years of Modi government, which we are going to also look at depending on time. So let's take a look at the three CM phases. So let's start from, can we have the first slide, please? Chhattisgarh.
Chhattisgarh.
Go ahead, sir.
Let's quickly jump. let's quickly jump into, see, in this show, a few weeks, couple of weeks, especially after the exit poll or the elections were completed, I came about and then said Chhattisgarh BJP will win, because none of the exit poll gave a clear head for BJP. In fact, I was one of the person, along with my partner in crime JVC, we said that 48 to 50 seats is what Chhattisgarh will get, and then they surpassed that with a 54. The social engineering, and one thing we should remember is Chhattisgarh is a tribal dominated state and highly resourceful. And the tribal shift towards BJP was visualized in 2022 election in Gujarat. In Gujarat, southern Gujarat, BJP would not have won 154 seats together, because they always had a trouble winning southern Gujarat seats. And then, the tribal shift towards BJP. We saw the tribal shift in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan to 85 seats in these three states, where the tribal dominant states, 65 of them won by BJP, including Chhattisgarh. And lot of questions that about, who will become the CM. Of course, Sahu was one of the prominent runners, and then Vishnu Diyasai, who is a tribal leader, was another person. Vishnu Diyasai was a MP in 2014. He was also a Minister of State, if I'm not wrong, part of cabinet. 2019, he was denied a seat from Chhattisgarh, but he patiently worked towards winning Chhattisgarh back from Congress, and that's why he has been rewarded. Look at the social engineering. The tribal CM of Chhattisgarh is not the message only to Chhattisgarh, because Bihar, the adjoining states, the Chhattisgarh has border with 5 states: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and Bihar. With Bihar a little bit, not much, but Madhya Pradesh predominantly. And all the 5 states has a significant population of tribal, and that's a message that has been given. At the same time, OBC and Brahmin were accommodated. Let's just quickly jump into next state. Okay.
Yeah.
Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh have a resounding victory of 164 seats. And Mamaji, fondly called Mamaji, Shivraj Singh Chauhan was a clear runner for the CM-ship. But Madhya Pradesh chose Mohan Yadav, who is an OBC. At the same time, 2 deputy chief ministers were chosen, one from a Brahmin community, one from a scheduled caste community. Speaker is a Rajput. Even in Chhattisgarh, Speaker is a Rajput, who also belong to OBC community. The third, Rajasthan. Very, very interesting state. Everybody thought that Vasundhara Raje Scindia would be the chief minister, de facto chief minister, but Modi and Amit Shah did not contest the election with Vasundhara Raje Scindia as the CM phase. Because of this, Vasundhara Raje Scindia ensured there are 40 rebels contested the election, which even cost about a dozen seats more for BJP. 7 of the rebels won. So about 20 odd seats they would have got. They got about 115 seats. 20 more seats or 25 more seats they would have won, because if only the rebels did not contest. There they brought in Bhajanlal Sharma, first time MLA as the chief minister. There are a lot of intricate political reasons for that, because a first time MLA, Vasundhara Raje, cannot claim a position in cabinet. That's a fundamental one of the reasons. Of course, he's a very hardcore.
No one knew this. Hats off.
Right? That's what an intricate analysis, Sree, one has to do, right? Because otherwise, if it is Diya Kumari, who was a deputy chief minister, what would have happened is, multiple time MLAs, Vasundhara Raje would claim for a larger portfolio. But being a first time MLA, she would actually not be able to ask for a position. And the speaker is a Baniya, and another deputy CM from this, SC community. And Bhajanlal, on all the 3, including Telangana of Congress, the chief minister are from ABVP. They're all candidates brought up by hardcore ABVP thinking, RSS ideology. So the social engineering in this is, because when when Uttar Pradesh election was on the way, lot of criticism raised that, the upper caste was ignored by BJP. They're going going with the OBC and SC as a vote block, but upper caste always stood with BJP. So now, ahead of 2024 election, BJP has ensured that all communities are taken care. A Banya community is taken care. Rajputs are awarded. SCs are awarded. ST scheduled tribes are taken care. The upper caste Brahmins have also been accommodated. OBC have been accommodated. Only one community that they have not concentrated is Jat. I'm sure that, by 2024, Jat community in Hyderabad, Haryana would also be, accommodated into that. So this is the level of social engineering planning that the duo does. And nobody would have known Bhajanlal Sharma even existed in the party. Okay. And nobody would have known at least, Mr. Yadav of Madhya Pradesh was education minister in, Shivraj Singh Chauhan cabinet. And of course, the Chhattisgarh CM had always been known to people that, he existed. And then ideally speaking, he was a very tall leader. But nobody expected Bhajanlal Sharma. And there is an intricate reason why BJP takes certain decision. The next generation leadership. And they don't want a 𝗤𝙧𝙤 like a situation. They don't want a Kamalnath like a situation. Just last, minute on this, Sree ji. Now, a lot of these Congress people and people who are disheartened by the loss are talking about, look at Vasundhara Raje, they were, she was dropped and she was betrayed. Mamaji was betrayed. Jyotiraditya Scindia, who actually brought down the Congress government in Madhya Pradesh, shifted his camp to BJP. He was betrayed and all those stuff. That's not the case. Jyotiraditya Scindia did not even throw his hat in the race for CMship, because he is slated for a central role always, and then he would be contented with the central role and he will be given a much more prominence. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, definitely, when you look at his speech, definitely, he's an RSS brought up. So he will take it with a grace. And Shivraj Singh Chauhan probably would be made, if my analysis is right, after 2024 election. He has three opportunities. Number one, the most prominent opportunity, probably will revisit this again after when it happens, replace Nadda as a national president for BJP. Our second possibility is a Lok Sabha speaker. Third possibility is vice president. In that order, these are the three possibilities, and he will be recognized. Vasundhara Raje Scindia will have a political sunset because she did not, she wanted to create like a Yediyurappa. But of course, in Karnataka, Yediyurappa, because of the Lingayat community and all, very strong. Whereas in Rajasthan, BJP was not dependent on the Rajputs, because there are a lot of Rajput leaders that are there in Rajasthan. So Vasundhara Raje was not the only face of Rajasthan Rajputs, but she will have a political sunset in the years to come. I think that's what I wanted to share, the social engineering thought process amongst BJP, and how very meticulously calculated on each selection. And look at this. When Kamalnath was chosen against Jyotiraditya Scindia, Congress could not manage to keep Jyotiraditya Scindia, in the flock. When 𝗤𝙧𝙤 was awarded a CMship, when Sachin Pilot won that state, being a Congress Pradesh president, and he was not offered the chief ministership, they could not, resolve the issues between 𝗤𝙧𝙤 and Sachin Pilot. Whereas now, everything is fell in place. Consensus was built. Rajnath Singh went to convince, Vasundhara Raje. All the consensus was built. And before 15th, because 16th onwards is not an auspicious month for the North Indians. So they wanted to conclude everything before 15th, and then before 15th, they formed the government. And otherwise, they will have to wait till January 15th. That entire month, they will not do much auspicious things in the North India. Like in South, we see in Tamil Nadu.
I thought South also, sir. I thought South also, sir. You never get marriages, conduct marriages in that month.
Yes, that's right. That's right. South also has that. South has 2 months. RD also is 1 month. That is, I think June 15th to July 15th, some point in time. But, in North, this is a prominent month where they don't do much of auspicious things, right? So before 15th, they want to get the government installed. And that's all I had to share about the social engineering, sir.
Thank you so much. And we have another topic to discuss, but I hope you have been liking this video and you have already subscribed to our channel. Let's take a look at a very interesting topic, because 10 years of Modi are coming up. And Sriram Seshadri is going to do a quick fire round, looking at various things that have changed in the last 9 years, nine and a half years, if you will. Let's take a quick look at all these different things. Can you put up the slides, please? Sir, yeah. These are all the things that have happened under the Modi administration over 9 years. You can go one by one, sir. Maybe we have about 20 to look at.
I'll quickly run through, because these all have a relation to Supreme Court. Yeah. Whatever reforms Modi government started doing from 2014, everything is vetted. Every time it is vetted in the parliament and in the Supreme Court. It is not a unanimous decision or an executive decision. ED directorship, always court decided, court intervened. And PMLA, the provisions of PMLA, even now, is it draconian or not, is being contested in the court of law. Every provision of PMLA which was strengthened and actions being taken, one should look at the amount of assets being attached by ED and CBI or income tax before 2004 to 2014 and 2014 to till now. In 2014 to till now, it's about 140 lakh crores have been attached. In 2004 to 2014, less than 1% of this. About 10 to 12,000 crores only had been attached. So to that level of significant, a lot of people keep saying that, okay, no actions on Rahul Gandhi, no actions on Chidambaram, no actions on DMK ministers, but it is a long drawn process. GST, a significant transformation program. When GST was launched, of course it was a UPA idea, but GST was launched. Everybody thought that it is going to fail. Today we are crossing 165,000, the 165,000 to 170,000 crores being collected every month. When GST was launched in 2017, it was 85,000 crores per month, almost doubled. Not because of all our economy has doubled, but because so many people have become GST taxpayers, but more importantly, everything is brought into account. There is a chain that has been created from the creator of the raw material to the end product consumer. And if wherever the chain is broken, GST comes into it and then, fills the problem. CAA, Citizens Amendment Bill, while the implementation still not happening in full swing, but it was a very bold statement amending the Citizenship Act. Once again, Supreme Court upheld this. CBI actions, CBI directorship, and who should be electing the CBI director. Once again, Supreme Court intervened and Supreme Court decided that. Electronic voting machines, even today, when they lost Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Congress started whining about electronic voting machine. When postal ballots were counted, 199 seats, Madhya Pradesh Congress was leading, whereas when EVMs votes are started being counted, they started losing. Very ridiculous statement. EVMs, for heaven's sake, can never ever be hacked because of the design. And then we actually take pride as a Tamilian, Rangarajan, who is one of the scientists who led this creation of these EVMs. PMLA, we talked about it. UAPA.
But you're talking about writer Sujata, right?
Writer Sujata, exactly. Rangarajan, popularly known as Sujata, writer Sujata, who was part of Bell, who created this EVM design and the chip design. UAPA, prevention of the terrorism, to prevent terrorism, terrorist act. UAPA was strengthened. Though UAPA existed, UAPA was strengthened. Aadhaar, once again, UPA's regime, but Aadhaar did not have a statutory backing. And Aadhaar was challenged in the court of law. Once again, a constitution bench challenging whether it's a right to information, a right to privacy was challenged in that. And very significant historic judgment given about right to privacy as part of the Aadhaar case. Pegasus, this was a big case that came into the Supreme Court's purview, whether the government is snooping on people, and then government once again won that. Next slide, please. Ram Mandir, 450 years of struggle, for 70 years of independent India struggle. And Modi could have easily solved this with, executive order action, but created a consensus, went through the court, and Supreme Court Constitution bench. Once again, credit goes to one of the judge in that panel, in that Constitution bench was today's CJ, Justice Chandrachud. Ram Mandir was once again created. Rafale, Modi was blamed for corruption, and Supreme Court sat on it and then said there was no corruption involved in that. Article 370, we talked about it. Triple Talaq, one of the very important aspect that court directed, and then after the law was brought in, once again challenged in Supreme Court. And Gujarat riots, Modi was relieved that he was not just acquitted, he was totally relieved from accusation itself, because two different SITs of Supreme Court sat through, and this happened even in the UPA regime. But finally, the Gujarat riots, Modi's name was removed. Central Vista, the current parliament building, Central Vista, new parliament, we need to talk about it together. The Central Vista, once again, the liberals went to the court saying that historic monuments are being demolished, and the greenery is being demolished, eco problem, everything. Supreme Court sat on it and then concluded that there's no problem in that. PM Care Fund, previously Prime Minister Relief Fund was there. In that Prime Minister Relief Fund, who were all the trustees? Congress Party's president. No constitutional problem. This is a private trust and then not a government-owned trust. But still, even whichever government is in place, Congress Party president would be the trustee. But PM Care Fund was formed, and a lot of controversies rose about it. And then Supreme Court once again judged that, saying that this is the right way of doing things. And PM Cares is once again a private trust. But who are all the trustees? The Prime Minister and Cabinet Committee. The 5 cabinet ministers are the trustees. Apart from that, 20 dignitaries from the public. So nothing to do with political party. Whoever is the Prime Minister of the day will be the trustee. Today is Modi ji, tomorrow someone else. Demonetization. This was challenged in Supreme Court, and then finally Supreme Court Constitutional bench sat on it and then give a unanimous decision saying that no problem with the demonetization. The process followed. The central government had authority above RBI to demonetize. That was a contended position. Look at all these viewers. Every reform for the benefit of the country, Modi ji government took, always went through the scrutiny of Supreme Court and cleared. And that is why none of this can be reverted back when any other government comes back. And he has always been put through an acid test, and every time when he is put through the acid test, comes out clean, which means so much of homework being done before any reform action is being taken. Some of them are not reform actions, but he has been put through the acid test in this. And that's all I have to share with respect to the greatest achievement of transformation and greatest achievement of reform that happened in the last 9.5 years, and hoping to see another 5 years of this. This I'm saying as a responsible citizen and not as a BJP supporter, because having seen UP 1 and 2, I'm saying this with a responsible citizen. This comment, I'm saying this as a responsible citizen, not as a party supporter or just because I like one party or the other. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sriram ji. And now let's take a few questions. Chitra, thank you so much. Great work in spearheading spread of accurate information. You are welcome. we do our best to try and be as accurate as possible. Sugandha Dubey wants to know, sir, but I saw the interview of Omar Abdulla given to Rajdeep Sardesai. He said that we will reverse it when we come back to power. Is it possible?
Sugandha, absolutely not possible. Because Supreme Court, when they answered one of the questions, they said it is a temporary provision. The second thing they said is Kashmir lost its sovereignty the moment it has succeeded. So one cannot overrule this. The moment they overrule a constitution bench judgment, the constitution bench will once again sit on it, and then, being a custodian of the constitution, will review and then cancel that any sort of reversal of this judgment.
Next one, please. Live and Let Live wants to know, if in 2024 BJP wins, do you think they will implement the CAA NRC in the entire nation?
Live and Let Live, absolutely. Absolutely. While I would have wanted BJP to implement this much more earlier, but COVID came, it took away 1.5 years of time, and then other issues were there, so they didn't do that. I'm disappointed that it should have been done across the nation, but when they come back in power in 2024, I'm sure this will be one of the first priority that they would want to implement.
Next one, please. Ramanathan Nagarajan wants to know, how about relative of ex-JNK Chief Minister living status in Chennai?
Doesn't change anything, because the relative is going to continue to live in Chennai. That's all.
Filthy rich at that.
Exactly.
Venkatraman Iyer wants to know, in your opinion, with the tall leaders like Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Raman Singh and Vasundhara Raje be given party positions or inducted in the union cabinet?
I think I responded. Raman Singh already been made the speaker of Chhattisgarh Assembly, and Shivraj Singh Chauhan will definitely, I said in the 1, 2, 3 option that I gave, BJP national president or Lok Sabha speaker, or he'll contest and then become a Lok Sabha speaker or vice president. Definitely he'll be rewarded. Vasundhara Raje will have a political sunset. That's my opinion, but things may change.
Next one, please. Bankanakatte Nagaratna, Sriram sir, with 3 new chief ministers, what impact will it have on Bihar, both Lok Sabha and state elections?
Without these 3 new chief ministers, Bihar would still have a significant, impact for BJP, because of Nitish Kumar and RJD combined and BJP on the other side, and India Alliance probably not doing any well at all. BJP will have its own stride. But with these new chief ministers, imagine a Yadav in Madhya Pradesh. Yadav is not a dominant community in Madhya Pradesh, so it is targeted at both Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Right? So, though Akhilesh Yadav went and contested,
one stone, 2 mangoes.
Exactly, right. So that is how they have done the social engineering. I'm sure it will have a great impact on Bihar, especially the tribal population is turning towards BJP in the last 2 years. Murmu becoming president, it's not just the creation of Murmu as a president, but when the tribal leaders visit the Rashtrapati Bhavan, they swell with the pride that, look, our own person is sitting there like a queen, right? That's what is the pride that it gives to the scheduled tribes also.
Next one, Prasanna Venkatesh wants to know, sir, please brief about Amit Shah's statement on POK in Rajya Sabha.
See, when in 2019 August 5th, when the Kashmir reorganization bill was introduced, that time itself, there are about 24 seats allocated for POK. That is a clear intention shown. But now what he said is, continue. I think the one or 2 seats increased in POK, and made a statement that by 2026 POK would be, integral part of India, which means there's already an agreement happening. Without that, or some sort of a deal that is happening, without that, I'm sure he will not be that irresponsible to make that statement. I hoped that before 2024 election itself that would happen, because I think in one of the discussion here, I shared that there is some amount of deal being worked out, both here and for Kachativu in the down south. I'm sure that they may time it appropriately, but definitely POK will join India, in my humble opinion.
GB2, Gilgit-Baltistan 2?
Gilgit-Baltistan will probably, will be disintegrated like another Kashmir for Pakistan. So Gilgit-Baltistan will be part of, because that is POK. Balochistan will be another Kashmir.
Yeah, that we are not worried about. These are all what used to be Indian territory.
Gilgit-Baltistan, already there is an uprise happening. There is a protest happening, and there where they want, whether entire POK joins with India or not, Gilgit-Baltistan wants to join, India. Look at, from there they are looking down the valley, Kashmir, which is becoming richer, and development activities happening. Naturally, the people mind also will change towards India.
Next one, please. Ranjit Lala wants to know, with so much damage done by previous governments, how will that abrogation of 370 reverse the same, like owning lands by Hindus, etc.?
Ranjit Lala, already a lot of investments started happening from various private organizations in Kashmir, and this will further enrich, right? And naturally, the natural resources of Kashmir are being taken away by 2 or 3 families, Muftis and Abdullah's families. Now it will be open to all the Indian nationals to own a property, or at least have fundamental rights in that state. Right to live is one of the fundamental rights. People can go and settle in Jammu and Kashmir area to do business, etc. Already it has started happening. Beyond the telecommunication, because telecommunication was once again area where they depended on India, but beyond that there are several other investments already been happening. This will continue to happen.
Next question, please. AK wants to know, as Shivraj Ji mentioned in his speech that now it's his time to give to party, do you think him becoming the party president or an agriculture minister is more likely?
Anything could happen. I don't think he will be a minister alone, but he will become party, because definitely Nadda is on an extended term of 1 year. His term already ended, so he is extended because of 2024 election. Definitely Nadda would be replaced, and Shivraj Singh Chauhan is a brilliant successor. But you know what? With BJP, I think people will stop speculating, because they know how to throw a surprise at any point in time.
Anil Kumar wants to know how BJP can win elections in Telangana and Tamil Nadu and resurge in Karnataka. What needs to be done?
Anil Kumar, I think resurge in Karnataka, Congress will definitely help BJP to come back to power and resurge. Even in the parliament election, they will have a significant advantage, 26 out of 28 or even 28 out of 28 with the alignment or with the JDS. Telangana, I think, they need to develop their party, because party doesn't have presence in 4 districts. About 48 to 50 seats. They don't even have any organization presence. Learn from Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh, they were able to rebound because of the organization presence across the state. And Tamil Nadu also, their organization presence is limited to southern and Kongu region. The northern and the delta region of Tamil Nadu, they still have a very small presence. I think, they need to grow the organization presence in. They cannot be waiting for winning 10 seats and then develop. You need to keep fighting, like what happened in various parts of the country where BJP grew. They need to keep on investing in that. I think they are in the right track on Tamil Nadu. Telangana, probably they need to relook and then change their track once again.
Thank you, sir. And last one. Thank you so much, Bala, for your generous contribution. With that, our program comes to an end. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar. Namaskar.